Have you ever known someone who was always so kind and warm and then one day they just weren't? It can be so confusing. You start to wonder, what happened to the person I knew? The truth is, we all have many sides to us. We can be loving and generous, but we can also be hurt and defensive. Our communication style isn't set in stone. It can change depending on what's happening in our lives and how we are being treated by the people around us. It's like the weather. One day it's sunny and bright, and the next a storm rolls in without much warning. This change doesn't always mean the person is bad. It often means something is going on underneath the surface. Think about it like this. Most of us want to live in a state of peace. We want to be respectful, and we want to receive respect in return. It's our natural desire to connect with others in a positive way. But life can throw things at us that test our patience and our spirit. When we feel safe and valued, it's easy to be our best selves. We smile, we listen, and we share our light with the world. This is the version of ourselves we are most proud of, the one we strive to be every single day. It's the person our friends and family know and love. But when we are pushed or when we feel threatened or disrespected, a different part of us can come forward. It's a part that is trying to protect us. Suddenly, the easy smile is replaced with a sharp word. The patient listener becomes someone who interrupts. This sudden shift can be a shock, not just for the person on the receiving end, but for the person who has changed as well. Often they don't even like the way they are acting. They might go home and think, that wasn't me. Why did I say that? It's a sign that something is out of balance. The core of who a person is doesn't usually change overnight. A good heart is still a good heart. But the way that heart expresses itself can be deeply affected by the world around it. It's so important to remember this when we see a friend or a loved one acting out of character. Instead of judging them right away, we can take a moment to ask ourselves, what might be causing this change? Is it something I did? Or is it something they are going through that I don't know about? This understanding is the first step toward healing and reconnecting. So what are these powerful forces that can turn a kind person into someone you barely recognize? One of the biggest culprits is stress. When we are overwhelmed with work, family problems, or financial worries, our ability to be patient wears thin. We have less energy for kindness because all our energy is being used just to get through the day. Think of your patience like a bucket of water. Every little stressor is like a small leak. If you have too many leaks, your bucket will soon be empty and you'll have nothing left to give to others. Another major trigger is feeling disrespected. Respect is a fundamental human need. When we feel that someone is looking down on us, ignoring our feelings, or dismissing our thoughts, it can wound us deeply. In that moment, a switch can flip inside us. Our instinct for self-preservation kicks in, and we might lash out to defend our dignity. The rudeness becomes a shield. We're saying, "You will not treat me this way. I have value." It's not the best way to communicate, but it's a raw, honest reaction to feeling hurt and devalued. Then there's the power of drama. When we get caught up in gossip, misunderstandings, or ongoing conflicts, it changes the way we talk to each other. Communication becomes a minefield. We start to look for hidden meanings in every word. We assume the worst intentions. This kind of environment makes it almost impossible for our kind and trusting nature to survive. Instead, we become suspicious and defensive. The drama creates a negative cycle where one person's rude comment leads to another's, and soon, everyone has forgotten how to speak to each other with simple decency. And let's not forget about misunderstandings. Sometimes, a person's rudeness isn't intentional at all. A short email might be seen as angry when the sender was just in a hurry. A joke might land the wrong way and cause offense. When these things happen and we don't clear them up, they can fester. The person who felt offended might start acting rudely in return, and the original person has no idea why. This is how small miscommunications can snowball into major conflicts. All because we didn't stop to say, "Hey, what did you mean by that?" When kindness disappears from a relationship, the effects can be devastating for everyone involved. For the person on the receiving end of the rudeness, it feels like a personal attack. It can make you question yourself. You might think, what did I do to deserve this? Does this person not like me anymore? It chips away at your self-esteem and makes you feel unsafe in the relationship. You start to walk on eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing. The open and easy communication you once shared is replaced by fear and anxiety. This change is also incredibly painful for the person who has become rude, especially if they are a naturally kind person. they often feel a deep sense of inner conflict. They might feel guilty or ashamed of their own behavior but feel powerless to stop it. They are trapped in a cycle of reacting to stress or perceived disrespect. They can see the hurt in their friends' eyes, and it hurts them too. But they don't know how to break free from the defensive pattern they've fallen into. This can lead to feelings of isolation and self-loathing. Friendships that were once a source of joy and support can become a source of pain. The trust that held you together begins to crumble. You stop sharing your true feelings because you're afraid of the reaction you'll get. The laughter fades, and the comfortable silences become awkward and heavy. Every conversation feels like a test. This is how strong bonds, built over years of mutual care and respect, can be broken by a prolonged period of negative communication. It's a true tragedy when two people who care for each other can no longer find their way back to kindness. The damage isn't just limited to the two people in the conflict. It can ripple outward and affect an entire group of friends or a family. The tension becomes something that everyone can feel. People might feel forced to take sides, or they might withdraw from the group to avoid the drama. The negative energy poisons the whole environment, making it a less happy and healthy place for everyone. This is why it's so important to address these issues, not just for the sake of the two people involved, but for the well-being of the entire community around them. So how do we heal these wounds and bring respect back into our conversations? The first and most powerful step is to choose understanding over judgment. Instead of reacting to rudeness with more rudeness, take a deep breath. Try to communicate from a place of I instead of you. For example, instead of saying, "You are being so rude," you could say, "I feel hurt when we speak to each other this way." This opens the door for a real conversation instead of starting a fight. It invites the other person to see how their actions are affecting you without making them feel attacked. Another simple but effective tool is to just listen. So often we are just waiting for our turn to talk, to defend ourselves, or to prove our point. But true listening is a gift. Give the other person the space to explain what's going on with them. You might learn that their rudeness has nothing to do with you. You might discover they are under a huge amount of stress, or that they misunderstood something you said earlier. When you truly listen, you are saying, "I care about you, and I want to understand." This simple act can diffuse so much tension. It's also important to set boundaries with love and respect. It is okay to say, "I value our friendship, but I cannot continue this conversation if we are going to speak to each other with disrespect. Can we please take a break and try again when we are both calmer?" This is not an act of aggression, it is an act of self-respect and respect for the relationship. It teaches people how you expect to be treated and creates a safe space for healthy communication to return. Setting boundaries protects the relationship from being destroyed by negativity. Ultimately, the path back to kindness is paved with grace, grace for others and grace for ourselves. We all make mistakes. We all have bad days. We all have moments when we are not our best selves. Forgiving someone for a moment of rudeness and forgiving yourself for your own is essential for moving forward. Let's make a choice to lead with our hearts. Let's make the effort to understand before we demand to be understood. Because every conversation gives us a new chance to choose kindness, and that choice has the power to heal us all.